Mozambique is currently ranked 180th in the world on the Human Development Index and has an estimated population of 28 million people, the majority of whom remain below the poverty line. The country's development has been hindered by a number of factors, including large-scale immigration, economic dependence on South Africa, a severe drought, and a prolonged civil war. Mozambique is a predominantly rural country and has an abundance of natural resources and fertile farmland. Agriculture is the principal activity in Mozambique. However, only 15% of the arable land is cultivated and less than 4% used beyond subsistence farming. This results in chronic malnutrition as farmers only produce enough food to feed their families adequately for less than 8 months of the year. Unemployment among youths aged between 15 and 24 in Mozambique is currently 39%. In response to this, Serve volunteers in Mozambique work with Young Africa, who empower young people through vocational and technical skills training, combined with life skills and entrepreneurship training. The uniqueness of Young Africa's employability programming is in its highly innovative and sustainable franchise business model. Every Young Africa Centre is set up as a social enterprise which provides skills training through local entrepreneurs who assume the responsibility to train young people to be entrepreneurs or to be skilled enough to be employed by entrepreneurs. In addition to taking responsibility to pass on their artisanal skills to the young people of their communities, local entrepreneurs pay rent for using fully equipped workshops or land from Young Africa. Rentals paid by franchises contribute to the financial and operational self-sustainability of centres. The franchise model therefore offers a cost-effective and efficient solution to youth employability programme where traditional and cost-intensive approaches are generally failing.
In order to gain a better understanding of how the programme works, Serve volunteers organised an interview with a former student named Eric. Eric worked as an apprentice plumber at Young Africa, and his time there helped him find employment in the city after he graduated. Daniel Twomey from the Serve volunteer crew had the pleasure of asking Eric some questions about his time at Young Africa.
Okay, Eric, so how old were you when you started here in Young Africa?
I started with 18 years old.
18. And how long were you studying here for?
The whole course, I took it six months
Okay.
training. Then 3 months is where I started doing my job.
Okay.
Yeah, I was practical.
Okay, and that was part of the course?
It was practical.
Okay.
Joe and some of our colleagues, well, what we did in our classroom. Afterwards, with all of us that we have passed and we have been graduated, we created such a group.
Okay.
And where in the beginning we did like a pamphlet with names and stamped it in the walls all over the city. Like if you want plumber, you can call to these numbers. And that's what we did, and we started putting, and it's way that we started getting business before us entering in such a company.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So from there, and people were calling like, no, I've got this, and that time, whenever that we write, and they saw Young Africa, and they say, oh, right, yeah, they're good plumber. So they started calling, and we were getting business.
So was the Young African name?
It was the Young African name.
Okay.
It was how.
And when you think back on your time here in Young Africa, do you think back with fond memories? Did you enjoy yourself here? Did you have fun while you were here?
Oh, I enjoy a lot. There was lots of things without training and friends, and without friends, football, playing soccer, and there's lots of things that make me happy as well, even my colleagues as well.
And being back here now, back in your old
surroundings.
Good memories?
Good memories and lots of changes going on, and that's what's surprised. And whenever I look to Young Africa, I say, no, there's my home.
Okay, excellent. And skills and experience. When you were here, did you gain a lot of skills and experience that you brought into your working life?
Yeah, I've got lots of experience, especially on. I came out here mature enough, without only knowing the plumbing course. I also know, because I remember that time there was such encouragement for all the students, and that was also make me mature enough in my mind as well. way of thinking and way of speaking, way of seeing things around the world. You know, about communication and how to understand each other, all of those small things that was also making me mature.
Okay, so you're saying it was the skills and experience, but the maturity as well.
The
You matured
maturity,
when you were here.
Of course, yes.
Excellent.
Because if I'm not wrong at the beginning, I was 18 years old. I was still young.
Yeah,
And
of course, you're a boy.
I was even thinking like, I'm still young.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was helping, but without the course as well, and where I was staying as well. I had always having people that you can always, they was always encouraging me, like, this is life, and this is how it is, this is how that you have to hold nuggets, and all of those things.
Perfect. And when you were here, was it all studies? Obviously you took your academics very seriously and you studied hard, and that's why you are where you are today. And was there any time for any kind of extracurricular activities or any sports or anything that you did for fun at lunchtime or after school maybe?
We did a lot, because without only, even on Saturday, that we were not having a course. We were not having a course, so I was coming here to play and even to play soccer. Sometimes was having like 2 or 3 teams in our classroom. We had our own team, like plumbing team. Once I remember that we was playing plumbing against mechanical plumbing against
So there's many competitions within the school?
Yeah, within the school there was a competition.
Excellent.
This, that course and that.
Yeah. Were you good? Did you win?
In the beginning, we lose.
Okay.
After 3 players, that is where that we end up winning.
Very good.
Yeah. So I think that was
Okay, yeah. Excellent. So Eric, you're obviously one of the success stories. You got gainful employment once you left here in Young Africa. But do you think what you learned here and the experiences you gained here in Young Africa, did that help you get your job?
100%.
100%.
It helped me.
After leaving Young Africa, Eric quickly found employment as a plumber in a popular hotel in Beira, where he still works today. In recent years, Young Africa's second Mozambican project opened in the Dondo region and has been expanding rapidly ever since. And in 2015, 1,378 students graduated from Young Africa's Mozambique projects. Many of these graduates have had success in finding employment, and an astounding 88% of them are economically active.
We asked Sir Volunteer Daniel Twomey to share some of his thoughts from his time in Mozambique.
Young Africa, I suppose, goes a long way to helping that. They offer these students practical vocational experience, and it gives them the qualifications and it gives them the certificates that they need to go to find gainful employment. And Young Africa make a big difference. In my eyes, they're almost a beacon of hope in an otherwise quite difficult environment. So Young Africa is making a big difference in that respect. Well, Eric's outlook in life, his optimism, his confidence, his everything, he just seemed like a very, very confident young man, and he got that confidence from his time in Young Africa. He said that the qualifications he acquired, the certificate he got, the paper that he got in Young Africa allowed him to shine and to go on and to make his way in this world, and that's a very, very positive thing to be able to say about Young Africa, and Eric is a prime example of a success story of Young Africa. It was one of the best things I've ever done. Literally one of the best experiences I've had. I really, really enjoyed it, and I put that down to the fact that I felt I was making a big difference when I was out there. I felt that I was valued while being out there. We were safe, we were secure, but also the group that we went with, we bonded so well. The 8 volunteers and the 3 leaders, we got on very, very well, and it just made for such an enjoyable experience, as well as something that was so worthwhile. I just think people can act in solidarity by, if they get the opportunity to volunteer, do it. And if people can't or are not in the position to volunteer, support someone who can. I'm so grateful that I got the opportunity to volunteer this summer in Mozambique. And if anybody was to get the opportunity to do it, I'd say do it, because it's something you will never regret.
Brian,